Well, hello, hello, and welcome back, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Thank you for your choice on my topic for today. I gave you guys a choice. I am celebrating my 19-year wedding anniversary today. I've been married for 19 years. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. So here's the deal. Thank you for choosing the topic because I gave you two options and it was like everybody chose A, 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 A. And then people started choosing B and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they gonna choose A or B? Which one is it? Oh my gosh, and look at my friends coming back. Okay guys, yeah. Where did they go? Can I have some space, please? Can I have a little bit of space? Please. Can you go somewhere? Can you go somewhere, please? Please, please, please. Okay, guys, give me a second because I'll tell you what the deal is with these birds. I'll tell you what the deal is. Okay, just kind of watch my back a little bit because, they're creeping all up on me. They're all in my personal space. But this is what I think. Oh, did they leave? Okay. This is what I think the deal is. I was there for the birth. This is like my little nature spot, one of my nature spots. And I was there for the birth. And I think that maybe this bird right here just like made me the godmother. And I don't know about it. And every time I come by, it's like maybe he's expecting me to give him a gift, bring a little bread. I don't know. But I think I'm the godmother of a bird. And that's cool because I've never been... Jeez. I've never been a godmother before, so there you have it. I'm officially a godmother, but it's just to the animal kingdom. So here's the deal. I'm not joking. I'm so not joking. I don't know why I haven't been picked to be a godmother. I would be like the best godmother on the planet, and nobody has graced me with that honor just yet, so I have to wait. But here's the deal, guys. We're going to talk about something very important today on my anniversary, and I'm going to share something really deep with you guys today. I'm not going to share this next year because next year is 20 years, and so on my 20-year anniversary I won't be in this country. I don't know what I'll be doing. I don't know if I'll have clothes on or not. I don't know if I'll be in the sky, on the ground, in the water. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm going to do something so freaking crazy next year for year 20. So I'm going to share year 19 with you guys. I'll spend a little bit of my time with you all here right now. So, hey, Carla, hey, Tara, hey, Matt. Welcome each and every one of you. I want to know if you are married, single, or divorced as I do this talk. So as I do this talk, like I said, just share with me if you're married, single, and divorced. And thank you for all the hearts and likes and shares as I talk about this topic because they're not going unnoticed. I can't stop and thank each person individually, so I'll just say it in advance. Thank you. So I'm never nervous when I talk, but I'm a little nervous because this is really, really, really personal. So I'm kind of sweating right now. This is like really personal. So, okay, what am I talking about? Marriage. I'm going to talk to you about the number one lie, the number one myth that people believe about marriage, and it is 100% untrue. And I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in it. The lie that most people believe about marriage, I probably would say 95% of people believe this about marriage, and it is not true. It is a bold-faced lie. So let's talk about what that is. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Well, maybe I should introduce myself first in case you're new and you don't know who I am. My name is Joy. I'm a synergistic kinesiologist. That just means I help people with emotional toxins and blockages. I'm also a certified personal trainer, certified a certified sports nutrition coach, author of a book called R3 Diet, which stands for Reverse Retrain, Rebuild Your Body and Mind, and speaker, in addition to a formulator of supplements. So I kind of help people who need to transform their body and mind in record time. I'm known for getting people results pretty fast in weeks, not months, not years, but in weeks, especially if you do everything I say to do. And if you're ready for it. Some people are not ready. They think they are. The way I put it is they talk a lot of game, they talk a good game, but they're not ready to show up and play on game day and on rehearsal day and on practice day. You have to be ready to put in the work. And that's the same thing when it comes to to everything you want in life, but this kind of ties into what the lie is. Let me tell you what the number one lie is that people tend to believe when it comes to marriage. And tell me if you've ever heard this saying before. Marriage takes hard work. Or marriage is a lot of work. Have you ever heard that? Yes or no? Before I move on, I'm looking in the comments now to see your answers. Have you ever heard marriage is hard work or marriage takes a lot of work? Yes or no? I need to know what your thoughts are on that, or see if I'm freaking imagining things. But in most cases, that's people's belief. And I'm here to tell you, just in Maury Povich style, that is a lie. That is 100% a lie. Now here's the deal. And tell me this. Have you ever had a best friend before? Best friend. Maybe a childhood friend that you grew up with. You trust them. You love them. You shared clothes with them. You shared experiences with them. A best friend. Do you have a best friend? If you have a best friend, have you ever heard anybody say in your entire life, have you ever heard anybody say that having a best friend is hard work? Yes or no? Have you ever heard anybody say that? And the answer is absolutely not. You've never heard anybody say it takes a lot of work to have a best friend, or it's hard work to have a best friend. So why do they say that with marriage? It's still a situation that you're dealing with two people. Why do they say marriage takes a lot of work and it's hard work, but they don't ever say that when it comes to friendship or your best friend? It is a lie. And not only is it a lie, but it is a limiting belief that if you have that limiting belief on anything, you'll have what you say. If you say that losing weight is hard work, you'll have what you say. If you say that getting healthy is hard work, you'll have what you say. If you say starting a business is hard work, you'll have what you say. If you say forgiving is hard work, you'll have what you say. It'll be hard for you to forgive. Whatever you say becomes a law, and it is a law for yourself, and that law starts to look for ways to justify itself. It starts to look for proof. That's why you can believe anything you tell yourself. Once you tell yourself something, it is a declaration that then becomes a law, and then you will start to find proof of what you say is correct. If you believe all men are dogs, you will start to justify that by meeting more men who can step into that limiting belief, who can confirm that limiting belief that all men are dogs. But guess what? There's somebody else that's saying weight loss is easy, and they're losing weight easily. There's somebody else who's saying that it's easy to stay healthy. It's easy to work out. It's easy to start a business. It's easy. It's simple. It's fun. It's adventurous. So therefore, it is not a law if it doesn't apply to everybody. If it just applies to you, it's a limiting belief. It's a law if it applies to everybody, just like gravity. Gravity is a law because it applies to everybody, no matter how tall you are or short you are, or what color you are, what color your eyes are, or your personality type. It doesn't matter. You will succumb to the law of gravity if you jump off of a building. But when it comes to limiting beliefs, that means that that's your world, that's your truth, but that's not somebody else's truth. Somebody could say all men are physically abusive, but somebody else, there's many women out there that's never been physically abused by a guy, myself included. So therefore, it's not a law unless it applies to everybody. Otherwise, it's just a limiting belief. It's been a part of your reality, your experience, or somebody you know, their experience, and they told you that lie, and you believed it to be true. You believed it to be true, and now you start to prove it to yourself over and over and over again. But I'm here to tell you, marriage is not hard. It does not take hard work. I've been married 19 years. It does not take hard work. Now, let me tell you when it was hard. Let me confess when it was hard. It was only hard at one time, and that was the first 3 years when I was a hot mess. HM, I was a hot mess. When I was a hot mess, marriage was hard. Why? Because I was self-centered. When you're self-centered and you're trying to have an emotional relationship with someone, a physical relationship with someone, a connection with someone, a loving relationship with someone, and you're self-centered, you actually sabotage the relationship. When you sabotage something, you make it hard to build up. Because how can you build something up that you tear down? That's when it becomes hard, because you're tearing it down over and over and over again, but you're wanting it to be built up, but you're tearing it down. I did synergistic kinesiology with a client once, and I said, how often does your husband tell you that he loves your body? She said, never. He doesn't tell me he loves my body. As a matter of fact, he criticizes my body. So he's tearing her down. So you're right. If they're trying to make their marriage work, it's going to feel like hard work, because as you tear something down and you're trying to build it up, does that make sense? If you were building a house and you're tearing the house down as you build it up, wouldn't it seem like you're taking 5 steps forward and 10 steps back? And that's what some people do in their relationships. They're taking steps forward, but they're also taking steps back over and over and over and over and over again. So here's the deal. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys kind of some things that helped me along the way. And one of the biggest things is when I was in my first 3 years of marriage, and it was atrocious, and like I said, you know, it was atrocious, guys. I didn't know how to love because I was trying to sabotage love. I felt like love didn't last, so I was trying to sabotage it. I was trying to hurt the person before they hurt me. And in my husband's case, I gave him his ring back 3 times when we were engaged. 3 times. Hey, Shannon. 3 times I gave him his ring back. I was not ready to embrace and open up my heart completely. I felt like if I were to do that, it would turn around and bite me in the butt. It would turn around and hurt me. And a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people feel like that. So they don't really want to give all of themselves, because all of us have been hurt before. And we don't like that feeling, and we don't want that feeling. And so it's a part of us that wants to trust, but then there's a part of us that's like, I can't trust. I can't take a chance again. I can't risk getting my heart broken again. Because your heart, oh my gosh, yes, it is a very strong muscle, but it is emotionally, when your heart is broken, there's very few pains that feels like that type of heartbreak. Very, very, very few pains. So the bottom line is, let's see, Shannon says, and I'm trying, let me see what you're saying right now. Oh my gosh, you're trying to deal with someone right now. And see, you just used a word that should never be used in a relationship. If you are having to use that word in a relationship, the relationship is being torn down versus built up. If you're in a relationship and you're using a word like I'm dealing with it, that is not something that you look forward to. Like, you're dealing with it. You're not enjoying your relationship. It's just something you're dealing with. And so let me just tell you, back when, in the first 3 years of our marriage, back when I was atrocious, I didn't know how to handle conflict. My solution to everything was to scream to the freaking top of my lungs. So that was not productive. That was actually counterproductive. That made things worse. Like I said, when I was engaged, I gave my husband his ring back 3 times because one part of me was like, no, I don't want to trust him. I don't want to see if he is I don't want to sit back and see if he's going to hurt me or not. I don't want to take that risk. And then last but not least, I did the ultimate. In the first, I think, 3 years of our marriage, and that is committed adultery. And when I committed adultery, it was like, I'll never forget. After that, and this is what, actually, when I rededicated myself to Christ, I came back in town, and I found a church, and my husband was out of town at that time, and I'm like, I'm a new woman. I gave myself to Christ, and I'm ready to make changes. And at that point, I'm like, that was like my own reality check, that I didn't want to lose him. I didn't want to keep trying to hurt and basically break up the relationship. And he forgave me, and he took me back. And that is one of the reasons why I'm still blown away. Like, do you know what it's like for somebody to love you and you're not even being lovable? Like, he loved me when I wasn't lovable. He loved me if I'm getting a little emotional. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to stay keep my composure. Hold on, hold on. Jeez. Ah. I'm just trying to keep my composure because he loved me when I wasn't lovable. If you see anything in me right now today that's built up, if you see a radiance behind my skin, if you see a sparkle in my eyes, if you see passion in my voice or hear passion in my voice, if you like the way I walk, if you like the way I talk, if you like the way I connect, then it's his love that you're seeing through me. It's really his love that you're seeing through me. It's his love on display. It really is his love on display. And I'm so thankful that not only when I really decided to be a real wife and quit playing wife and quit playing games and quit playing with his heart, when I really decided to dedicate myself to being a true wife that he deserved, was when our marriage became magical. It became magical. Now, instead of me focusing on his flaws and what I want him to change, I focus on my own self. And that's what marriage is supposed to be about, 80-20%. 80% of you focusing on yourself and how you want to grow, that's a job in and of itself, guys. That's a job in and of itself, is just focusing on yourself and growing yourself in this world. Expanding your heart, expanding your mind, expanding your knowledge, expanding your existence, expanding your purpose. Just focusing on you is a job and a half. So when you sit and you're in a relationship and you spend that relationship just constantly just trying to change the other person, and the way you're trying to change them is through criticism and breaking them down, you're fighting a losing battle. Shannon says, believe me, I've got so much love for this one, but I'm trying to help her alleviate all her past and suffering. And here's the deal, because Shannon, you have a good point. When two people meet and they decide to want to make it work, and they decide to want to connect, and they decide that they want to like make a happy marriage together or relationship, the key is that it's two imperfect people coming together in the name of love. There's two imperfect people who are coming together in the name of love. And so the key is, it does require patience. But as long as both people are willing to roll up their sleeves and say, you know what, I want to make this happen. I'm just telling you here today that the way to make it happen is to focus on working on yourself. Sundays is our day where we ask what we can do to be a better wife or a better husband. Every single Sunday, I look at him and say, what can I do to be a better wife this week? And he looks at me and he says, what can I do to be a better husband this week? And I'm telling you guys, we focus on ourselves. And it's magical and it's fun. And so people who witness it now, they're like, you guys seem like you're on your own island. Like, your marriage just seems magical. It doesn't even seem real. And it is magical. It feels magical. And I mean, I never get sick. I never get sick. But if he leaves and goes out of town, all of a sudden my immune system breaks down and I'm like, everything is shutting down. It's the craziest thing ever. But I love him so much, and I just am thankful he took a chance on me, and he was patient with me, and he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. He knew that it would be worth the wait, and he was right, because now every day I live to just treat him like a king. I live to make sure that he has every desire met. I live to make sure that he feels completely loved and appreciated and encouraged. And so the key is, it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. And so I'm trying not to get emotional, guys. Just bear with me. I'm like moving the camera every 2 seconds, trying not to get emotional. Bear with me, bear with me. Oh my gosh. I just want to encourage each and every one of you that love is possible, okay? when you find love and you cultivate love, it is like one of the most amazing things to ever experience. If you feel like if you feel as if you've given yourself to love before and it didn't work out, just know that don't ever give up on love. Don't ever give up on love. If you've experienced the bottom of the barrel with love, which means heartbreak, total heartbreak, maybe somebody using you, manipulating you, lying to you, hurting you physically or emotionally, setting you up for failure, cheating on you. If you experience that and you experience the bottom of the totem pole, how dare you go out like that in life? How dare you leave on that note? How dare you not experience the other end of the spectrum? If you've already experienced the bottom of the spectrum of being hurt and beat up on and feeling completely used and abused, how dare you not experience what it's like on the other end of it? You have to continue to believe in love, Shannon. You have to, because when you do and when you find it and when you cultivate it and build it up, I don't care. It feels better than your good health. It feels better than energy. It feels better than your career. It feels better than your favorite meal. It feels better than your favorite dessert. It feels better than your favorite vacation. It feels better than your every experience you've ever had in life. Take every experience and multiply it by 1,000,000, and maybe that expresses like how it feels on the other end of the spectrum of love. Amari says, I've been married 1 year. So that 1 year of marriage. Oh, so I'm glad you said that. Let me say this. So that feeling that you're experiencing of being married for 1 year, I just want you to know, do not believe people, Amari. Do not believe people when they tell you that that's just in the beginning. Enjoy it while it lasts. You're not gonna continue to feel that good. You're not gonna continue to be in the honeymoon stage. Don't believe that. That is somebody else's truth. Because I'm telling you right now, after being married 19 years, that I feel more freaking in love right now than that honeymoon phase. That honeymoon phase can't hold a candle to how excited I am about my marriage now. Sex in year 1 can't hold a candle to sex in year 19. What else? What else? Come on, you all got me going now. Now you got me going. You got me revved up. What else? Your conversations in year 1 can't hold a candle to your conversations in year 20, 19 or whatever. Like you will finish one another's sentences. You will like laugh all the time and crack each other up all the time and never run out of things to talk about. You never, oh my gosh, people talk about communication. Communication is an understatement. Like literally, we talk like you talked on the phone to your first crush. Yeah, that's how we talk all the time. Like literally like teenagers. So it doesn't have to get old. It doesn't have to dissipate. It doesn't have to go away. I don't adhere to that truth. I only adhere to the truth that I want, which is I'm going to be crazy, madly in love with this guy for the rest of my life. He's irreplaceable. No one can replace him because no one did for me what he has done for me. Nobody has loved me like he has loved me. Nobody has built me up and encouraged me like he has encouraged me. Nobody has loved me from the inside out like he has loved me from the inside out. He has shown me what it's like to experience unconditional love outside of a family member here on this thing that we call planet Earth. And so I'm just here to tell you that marriage is amazing. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to people who are single tell you how to have a happy marriage. Don't listen to people who are divorced who tell you how to have a happy marriage. Let them do it the right way. Let them get it right, do it the right way, then listen to their advice. But right now, they don't have a track record of success to speak on it. To me, you speak on it when you can speak on it, when you have personal experience with it. When you have personal experience with being married. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't think happily married people open up their freaking mouths enough. Happily married people are keeping freaking duct tape on their mouths and they're not talking. Single people have bullhorns up to their mouth. Single people who are miserable, you hear everything that they have to say on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter or at the workplace. They are shouting it loud, how slutty women are, how much guys are dogs, or they're screaming from rooftops. But happily married people are walking around and they're not opening up their mouths. They're not saying what made it so happy in the first place. They're not saying what their struggles were. They're so embarrassed they got these freaking skeletons in a closet and they don't want to tell it how it is. They don't want to tell the truth about what they had to go through and what they had to overcome and how good it is when you do overcome any obstacle that comes your way. It's way better than having a best friend. My husband freaking knows the mascara I use. I can say, go pick up my mascara. And he'll say, okay, baby, I know the mascara you use. And he can pick up my mascara. So sometimes I'm telling him TMI, too much information. And I like it like that. I like it that he knows everything. And then if it's a time where I can't tell him something because, you know, we're having a busy day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to tell him and I need to tell him right now and I want to talk. And I just want to talk all the time. I want to talk all the time. I want to touch him all the time. I want to kiss him all the time. I want to hug him all the time. I just want to stay connected with him because his energy mixed with my energy feels like it is unstoppable energy. It feels like the most powerful energy ever. I know that as he achieves all of his goals in life, I know that I played a role in that. I know that it's because of my love for him. I know that it's because of my encouragement for him. I know that it's because of me being in his life. So I know that I am giving him electricity. I know that he's giving me electricity. I know that he can never reach his highest heights without the love and encouragement and support that I give him and believing in him. Like I believe in him like no other. He could freaking tell me that he's gonna find a new way to go to the moon next year and I'll be like, babe, get the pen and paper out, write it up, do it, let's go, let's do it. And he would do the same for me. So Amari says marriage is a process, but it is oh so rewarding. Where did you meet your wife, Amari? Where did you guys meet? I'll tell you guys how I met and then I'll end it on that note. And if you guys want to share it in the comments, I do check my comments after the live stream. So even if you're watching this, the replay, then still you can leave a comment and I'll check it out later. But I met my husband at a comedy club. It was crazy. It was a comedy club that was for people who were 30 and over. And I was nowhere near that age. I was nowhere near that age. But I had a friend who used to go out and party and all that. Actually, she was a coworker. And she invited me to go to this comedy club with her. And I was like, okay, sure. And so I went to this comedy club with her. And he came in. It was December 17th when I met him. I met him December 17th. About 22 years ago. And he walks in the club at night and I'll never forget, he walks in and he has on like what looked like a suede and fur coat with these sunglasses. It looked like sunglasses, but they were tinted prescription glasses. I didn't know that at the time. And I kid you not, when he walked in the comedy club, I'm like, who does this guy think he is? That's what my first reaction was. And then he knew my coworker, so he sat down with us. You know, she was talking to a guy. I was sitting there alone. So he sat down with us and said hi and introduced himself and just kind of sat there. And I'm like, this guy's not leaving. So after a while, I just look over at him and I'm like, okay, I need to say something. This is awkward. So I look over at him and I'm like, I like your glasses. Why did I do that? That opened up a can of worms. He like talked to me all night. He wouldn't stop talking to me all night long. At the end of the comedy club, at the end of the comedy session, they open it up for dancing. So they move all the tables and chairs out the way and they open it up for dancing. And so they did that. And after they did that, we danced. And then I left. And I got to tell you this story really quickly before I go because it's so funny. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. It's crazy. So our first date was like a week later. And I'm going to tell you, our first date, this is, I guess I should have known he was a winner then. Our first date, he asked me to pick him up from the airport and we were going to go out because he was flying back in town. So he's like, if you want, you could just pick me up from the airport and then I don't have to, you know, we can just go from the airport to dinner. So I go to pick him up from the airport. Like I said, a week after we met, probably, Christmas Eve. It was on Christmas Eve we were having our first date. I'm at the airport. At the time, I had my very first car that I ever had. And 2 weeks prior to this, I was well, okay, I'm not going to tell you that part right now. So I get to the airport. A police we were in St. Louis, Missouri at the time. A St. Louis police officer or airport police officer pulled me over, or I was already sitting there waiting. He stopped. He flashed his lights on me. He got out, and he said, "Excuse me, ma'am, your license plates are expired. You know, I need your ID and all that." So when he put my name in the system, he comes back to the car and he's like, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but there's a ticket that you didn't pay for like a year ago or something like that. So you have a warrant for your arrest and I need to arrest you." And I'm like, guys, I can't make this stuff up. Like, they really need to do a movie about some of this crazy stuff that's happened to me in life. I don't know why, but it has happened. So anyway, so the guy said he had to arrest me. Hold on. Okay, it's about to rain. I'll try to get the story out before it starts to rain. So he said he was going to arrest me. Believe it or not, you guys may not know this, but there's a police station inside of the airport. So he takes me and arrests me and takes me to the inside the police station in the airport. And then I'm like, well, I'm here waiting for a guy. We're supposed to go on a date. So when he gets here, he's going to be looking for me. And I'm in jail. Is there a way? And they were like, okay, if you know his name, we'll say it on the intercom. We'll call him. That we had just met the week before. I didn't know his last name. So I'm like thinking so hard, like, what is this guy's last name? Finally, it came to me, and the guy called him. And he called him on the intercom, and it took him a while to get there. He probably was like, why is airport police calling me to come to the station? So he gets in there, and I'm in stilettos and a mini skirt and just standing there looking crazy, literally behind bars. And he comes in and he's looking like, oh my gosh, what is this chick? Like, what does she do in life? Is she a murderer? Is she is she a thief? What is she? So I'm like, I could explain. So the guy said, we have to take her to where she actually got the ticket. We have to transport her there. So if you want, you can get her the keys to her car and meet us at the other station, and you can bail her out there. So I give him the keys to my car. And at that time, like I said, 2 weeks prior, I had just been in a car accident. And the what is the thing called in the front? Gosh, guys, the thing in the front, the hood. The hood popped up and kind of cracked my windshield a little bit. And so I took a ponytail holder out of my hair and tied the hood of the car down to where it was supposed to be. And yes, so I gave him the keys to my car. It was at night when he was coming to bail me out of jail. And he's in the car driving, and he said that while he was on the highway to come bail me out of jail, the hood flies open on the windshield. He's in the fast lane at night, St. Louis, Missouri, Highway 40, baby. And he's like bending down, trying to look through the little crack at the bottom so that he could see out the windshield, so that he could safely exit the road. And so he made it to me and paid my bail. So our first date was actually not a date. It was him bailing me out of jail. Yes. So I guess then he knew that he had an adventure ahead of him, because I just wasn't a normal chick. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously. So yeah, that was our first date, was him bailing me out of jail. We never made dinner because it was too late by the time I got out of jail. So yeah, anything is possible, ladies. I kid you not, I called my coworker after that, and I'm like, is this guy gonna ever call me back again for a date? I don't think he's ever gonna call me back. He probably thinks I'm psycho. But he did call me back, and thankfully he did, because 19 years later, we are still together. I do want to say one last thing before I exit this live stream, and that is right before we met, about 2 or 3 weeks before we met, about 2 or 3 weeks before we met, I was in the middle of a relationship that I was ending with someone, and I'll never forget that I kind of had a breakdown in my house that day. I had a breakdown where I started crying. I just started crying and praying to God, because I was with this guy, and he was a nice guy. He didn't do anything to hurt me. But when we moved in together, I said, at the end of the year, at the end of this lease, I will either be breaking up with him or we'll be getting married. This was the guy previous to my husband. And I'll never forget, I just had a breakdown, and I just knew that guy wasn't for me. Even though we had been together like 4 years, I knew he wasn't the one for me. And so I find it very ironic that a few weeks later, I met my soon-to-be husband at that comedy club after I released it and broke up with the guy that I had been with for 4 years. So some of you are in relationships, and you are in dead weight relationships where you know, your intuition tells you, you know that that's not the best person for you, but you're just holding on to them because you'd rather have somebody than nobody. You'd rather feel like you have somebody in bed with you than and pretend that maybe you have a false sense of love, than to let them go and be possibly be lonely. So I'm just here to tell you that when you do that, and when you like give it up and you just say, I'm done, I only want the best. When you open yourself up like that and let go of that dead weight, you'll be surprised at how fast you find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Because I wasn't looking for my husband when I found him. I just gotten out of a relationship. So I wasn't looking for him. But he ended up being right there when I freed myself from the bondage of the other relationship. And when I say bondage, like I said, I just mean knowing that it wasn't what I wanted truly, but still kind of holding on to it. You can't do that. You get what you want when you let go of what you know is not in alignment with you. You get your best when you let go of what you know is not your best. Some people want to hold on to it, and they want to possibly get their best as they hold on to that thing that they know is not their best. It doesn't work that way. You have to let it go, and then you'll be rewarded for being bold and doing something that, emotionally put you in a place where you freed yourself. I freed myself emotionally that night when I cried out, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why I'm letting this guy go? All I know is I feel like something else is better for me. I feel like something else out there is for me. And following my intuition, following my heart, it led me to a happy marriage. So I encourage you to follow your heart. Just know it can happen. It doesn't happen when you're begging. It doesn't happen when you have doubt. It doesn't happen when you have hate in your heart toward your ex. It doesn't happen when you are fighting it. It doesn't happen when you start blaming. It doesn't happen when you feel like all relationships are doomed to fail at some point. You have to release all those negative emotions and limiting beliefs. You have to literally start with a clean sheet of paper and just say, I'm starting brand new, and I'm opening myself up for a great, amazing relationship that is building me up, and one that I can help build my spouse up, and one that lasts forever, and one that makes me feel so proud to be a part of, and one that I don't have to front on social media and act like it's all beautiful, but one that it is beautiful. I sleep peacefully at night, and I wake up with zeal and zest and bliss in the morning. That's, my friends, is what marriage is all about. So again, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being on here and your comments. I appreciate you all being on here with me. So now I'm about to go enjoy my husband, and much love to you all. Until next time, R3 for life. Reverse, retrain, rebuild your body and mind. Bye.